Meet Stiko. On the outside, his life looked fine. A steady job, familiar routines, responsibilities, just enough noise to drown out the quiet ache that something was missing. He always believed there'd be time. Time to chase dreams, to say the things left unsaid, to finally start living with intention. But that illusion shattered one quiet Wednesday afternoon when a doctor looked him in the eyes and said, "You have 1 year left to live." No drama, no maybes, just a ticking clock and a soul-crushing finality. Stiko walked out of the hospital into a world that looked the same, but now felt completely different. Everything was louder, his heartbeat, the wind, the silence between conversations. Reality hit hard. Time wasn't infinite. At first, he resisted. Denial, fear, anger, all of it. But eventually, he came to a realization. If time was short, then there was no space left for fear, only choices. So he made one. That evening, he wrote down the version of life he always dreamed of. Not a vacation fantasy, but a way of living that made every moment matter. He reached out to people he'd hurt and apologized sincerely. Not because he needed closure, but because he wanted peace. He listened deeply to his parents, not as a busy son, but as someone trying to understand before it was too late. He stopped faking strength and started being honest, with himself and others. Stiko didn't chase thrills or fly across continents. Instead, he explored nearby towns he'd ignored. He watched sunsets without reaching for his phone. He had conversations with strangers just to listen, not to reply. He stopped doing things just to be liked. He started creating things he cared about, not for praise, but for purpose. For once, the doing was enough. As the months passed, he slowed down. He forgave people who never apologized. He let go of expectations. He spent quiet mornings alone with his thoughts. And for the first time, stillness didn't feel empty. It felt alive. Then came the final month. But Stiko wasn't scared anymore. He didn't crave more time. He just wished he'd discovered this version of living sooner, the version where meaning matters more than momentum. But then life threw him one last surprise. The diagnosis? It was wrong. Stiko wasn't dying. He had his whole life ahead of him, but now with eyes wide open, he didn't return to old habits. He didn't waste time. He didn't let fear make his choices. He lived like time was precious, because it always had been. And here's the truth. You don't need a doctor to tell you your time is limited. You already know it is. So here's the real question. If you only had 1 year left, how differently would you live today?